Welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. We are in Blackwater, where I spent far too much time on this door, so let's go and see if we can open this door now, because we need to get on. I thought we could.
Let's have some fun.
Basically what we need to find is more flaming lockpick fuel. Little bit of haste. Hello there.
Into the frame.
Cover me, all right? Out of my sight.
Apparently... Oh, he's staggered. The fact that they have 20 armor class doesn't really help. Do I really want to bother with Exsanguinate here? Wish I had lightning magic spells. The thing is, lightning magic only really does good in this specific dungeon, so... This one might be good. All enemy creatures. That one's down. Can I do a coup de grace? No, she moved for that.
Attack! Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Prayer at least reduces their stats a little bit.
Endure this.
Not that we're hitting any more than we did earlier, but okay, what about a Hellfire Ray then? That seems to have hurt it a bit. Okay, let's try that coup de grace again. Okay, that wasn't good enough, so I guess we'll go with the Jolt, which we'll probably miss. No, we didn't.
Distract him for me. I will see to your demise.
Okay. I don't think the coup de grace will do much. Oh. It's kind of weird. It occasionally works and it occasionally doesn't. Can we open this door?
A bright future awaits us.
More of these augmented salamanders.
Yet another obstacle.
As soon as we took something, they decided that we are nasties.
Time to share your treasures.
Not too worried about these guys. Do we still have haste? How long? 50 seconds, that should be enough.
Aim carefully. Precision and grace.
I suppose we can do a Feast of Blood here. Should start remembering to use my meta magic rod.
Make every strike count.
Cover me, all right?
Okay, so we killed that first one. Now he's dead.
Forwards!
Does Waldriff's weapon do lightning damage?
Work of this. Let's try this way.
The light take you!
I didn't think it does.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
I know I'm just lumping up on someone who is already dead,
Zap
but...
you or zap you? Why not both?
Okay, Waldriff.
Me?
Yes. The weapons, do they do lightning damage? Oh, really? I don't know how we killed him then. Let's get those. The electricity-driven machines seem designed for blacksmithing and producing items. What we wanted from that one. And here's components for 100 Faces Circlet. This one requires flaming fuel thing. I don't think we can go in here. Nope.
I'll go ahead.
Should be able to go in here. I didn't mean to close the door. Camera angles. Would you stop closing the door? Yeesh. Okay. Quick save and use magic
This is my
device.
kind of work.
This machine is used for healing and provides the healer with information about the patient's current condition.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
What at first appears to be a patch of rust is revealed upon closer inspection to be an old blood stain spread across the wide drain. Lovely.
The mongrel did it.
The corpse's mutilated head shows that an attempt was made to place the circlet on the victim's head, but they did not survive the agonizing operation.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
The anatomical drawing, replete with stomach-turning details, sets out how to crown a victim with a sinister barbed circlet. Flaming lockpick fuel, good. The corpse under the sheet is one of the defenders of this place. Their mechanical parts have been roughly ripped out and the flesh discarded like carrion. The contraption before you looks truly sinister, like the entrails of some sort of sea creature. A glinting tangle of ebony tubes connects to a capacious vessel. The bindings, splattered with blackened blood, must serve to hold helpless victims. You notice a piece of scalp stuck between the teeth of the serrated saw. The shiny and impossibly sharp drill is sickening to look at. It's like the machine is sleeping, but ready at any moment to awaken and recommence torturing and dissecting living flesh. Examine it. It appears that this machine is what performed the heinous and disfiguring procedures on the guards that have turned them into puppets. A separate compartment of the machine holds an orderly stack of the nefarious circlets, their metal spikes gleaming. Examine the circlets. Numerous crystal plates, all no thicker than a hair, cover the inside of each circlet's rim. These plates overlap in an intricate pattern and are connected by a web of greyish metal fibers. Small spheres of a cloudy stone that resembles smoky quartz rest against the temples. It is possible that these are what the mysterious master used to deliver commands to his slaves. Try to get a sense of how the circlets work. Carefully touching the crystal plates, you analyze the circlet's reactions. Some touches make the circlet vibrate quietly, while others while others cause tiny storms of lightning to run along the spikes. Even though this contraption was created by adepts of a magic that you're completely unfamiliar with, you are nonetheless certain that it is magical. Basing your assumptions on your knowledge of primary arcane principles, you're able to guess the access keys to some of the simplest, least sophisticated functions and activate the circlet. It seems that this item was crafted through the use of psionic magic. The crown can heighten one's sensitivity to such influences, but it could instead be made to protect the wearer from psionics. We need some tools before we do this. Okay, 2 seconds please. We go. Who is this? A warrior in a crusader's tabard rocks back and forth in a meditative trance. Her mangled head is adorned with the same type of sinister-looking circlet you've seen on the other guards, but she issues no menacing demands for you to surrender to Hundred Faces' mercy. Instead, she quietly whispers, "Iomade, embolden my spirit before my death." Are you alive? The warrior starts as if waking up from a deep slumber. She stares at you in surprise. You're not one of Hundred Faces' servants? You don't have one of those accursed circlets. Grace Iomade, I prayed someone would come and help me. Please, end my suffering. There's a mixture of pain and relief in her eyes. We'll help you, sister. You're not alone anymore. Sister in faith. Oh, praise the goddess. I'd abandoned all hope of ever seeing a friendly face again. What's your name? Athara Vance, corporal in the Mendevian army. Our squad was lured to this place, and we were on forward patrol when we met a man. He told us that a group of slaves had escaped from the demons and taken shelter in this camp. He said they had many wounded who needed help. Once we entered the camp, we had no way of leaving. Where are your comrades? They have all fallen. When we realized we were trapped, we tried to fight our way to the heart of this compound, but we stumbled upon some magical device that seems to incinerate minds. We had to stop and take up defensive positions nearby. We were holed up there for 2 days while our wizard tried to find a way past it, but those abominations came and picked us off one by one. They deliberately avoided killing us, they just wounded us enough to cripple us. Then later, the ones they had taken came back, with their heads cracked open. She shudders. Didn't recognize us. Carried out someone else's will, shouted someone else's words, but the voices, they were the voices of my friends. When I alone was left and they came for me, I just couldn't. I couldn't end their lives. Damn coward. I just couldn't bring myself to do it, and they made me into this. What did they do to you? They cut open my skull and shoved this thing into my head to control me. And then, oh, those sadists know every flavor of pain. They tore me open and shoved their vile machines into my body, then sewed me up, just to start tearing at another spot. Sealed my wound shut, poured some potions into my veins that made my insides burn, and all the while I could hear him, that voice, that disgusting voice. Her hysterical scream becomes a desperate, forlorn howl. Through immense force of will, she pulls herself together and starts whispering a prayer to Iomade. Her breathing slows and some semblance of calm reappears on her face. If they close in on you, do not let them take you prisoner. Kill yourself and do it so there's nothing left behind for them to use. He casts a look of pure hatred at the machine nearby. There it is, their altar of torment, the thing that maimed me. Now the master of these monsters sends me orders through psionics, and my body keeps trying to obey. These circlets are his reins. I wanted to enter his lair and kill him, but the closer I got to him, the harder it was for me to fight against his voice ringing in my ears. Did you manage to resist being possessed? It's not easy. His voice enters your mind, and to defy his commands is torture, but I'm a medium, and I'm used to hearing voices in my head. They almost drove me mad as a kid until I learned to quiet them. That's why I joined the Crusaders when I grew up. I prayed to Iomedae for help, and she blessed me with the fortitude I needed. That's why I'm fighting, and why I'll keep fighting that scumbag for as long as I can. He's breaking me bit by bit, but I'll stay strong, because as soon as I give up, oh, Iomedae, please, no. Her eyes widen in fear, and a spark of lightning arcs along the spikes of her circlet. A tear runs down her cheek. I don't want to lose myself. It's terrifying. Gods, it is so terrifying. The warrior barely manages to fight back a sob. But now you've come, and that means I haven't been holding on in vain. There, in that pile of clutter, I hid the relics our squad carried. It was the last, and the others haven't seen the cache, so they couldn't report it to the enemy. Take them all! Relics blessed by Iomedae must never fall into the hands of these monsters. You're still in control, why haven't you ended your life yourself? I've tried so many times, but each time I was about to end it all, I felt fear. And fear weakens the will, so the voice in my head sounded even louder, even stronger. I could feel myself slipping away. I worried that if I tried to inch the blade closer to my throat, he would bind me to his will forever, so all I could do was wait. I'll help you. Thank you, but I cannot be saved. I no longer want to live with this abomination in my head, but I cannot get rid of it. It will fry me from the inside if I try to take it off. There is only one way out, to end it all. If the voice in my ears had quieted down even for a second, I would have done it all myself, so help me. Do it all quickly and cleanly. May Iomedae watch over your soul. Thank you. I don't want to hear him in my head any longer.
What a find!
Is this supposed to be a sacred relic of Iomedae? That looks promising.
Oh, the waiting's never fun.
Okay, so we need to cast
Welcome your company.
protection from... We need resist energy, electricity, but we also need protection from energy. Okay, now comes one of the hardest fights in a long time. The mage's voice is quiet, matter of fact. You've demonstrated superior abilities. We are impressed. Greet you, candidate. Who are you? We are Hundred Face, the mind engineer, the alloy of mortal and immortal. We oversee this community. You realize you've seen this face before. The cowl-shrouded visage of the Kelid Velg told you about this place. The top of Hundred Face's skull has been removed like the others, but the crown he's wearing is much larger and more intricate. Hey, I know you. True. Your arrival was planned in accordance with the schedule. Given that the original host's body possesses the most advanced functionality, we used it to convince you to come. We are satisfied with the fact that you arrived within the scheduled time limits, as did all previous candidates. The calculations do not require adjustment. The original host's name does not matter, and neither does the history of his existence. We are not what he was. We have long surpassed the limitations of a mortal creature's mind. The singular personality was split in order to achieve complexity of thought. Now we are a collective. We are Hundred Face. So many fancy words, but it's all so simple. You used to be human, and then you became a monster. That's it. So you even turned yourself into a machine. True. The exhaustion and deterioration of living tissue reached critical levels. For the purposes of continuation of function, a number of measures were taken. The decision was considered acceptable. The procedure resulted in the duration of existence being extended by an undefined length of time, which will prove sufficient for the discovery of permanent solutions. Why have you lured me here? The question requires a multi-part response. First, we have been testing our location's deterrence system. The deterrence system has been judged unsatisfactory. Adjustment based on this observation is required. Second, we have been testing you. You have been deemed satisfactory, candidate. You will be subjected to the modernization procedure. Third, we have been searching for a fitting specimen as a replacement to lead our field combat unit. Your abilities have been deemed extraordinary. The modernization procedure will be modified in order to take the specimen's peculiar properties into account. We are satisfied to the highest degree and are experiencing a state of euphoria. We wish to inform you that you will serve as the leader of our army. What are you doing here? We are conducting the project, implementing its schedule and gathering an army. While incrementally enhancing countermeasures, we are attracting increasingly more dangerous opponents to absorb their abilities through modernization and amalgamation. The next scheduled phase is to attract a high volume of non-mortal opponents, such as the demon armies of the Worldwound. The chances of victory are adequate. How did you convince the Sarkorians to serve you? The manipulative approach was deemed optimal. The specimens were motivated by the promise of assistance. Mistrust was suppressed through the weakening of their identity's basic elements, such as hope, religious beliefs, or ethical limitations. Insubordination was suppressed through internal purges. My, a machine that can lie, scheme, and manipulate. It seems the end of the aristocracy is upon us. Who needs counts and barons when this handy mechanism does it all for you? Say nothing. Silence confirms the lack of conflict. We are satisfied. How do you bend mortals to your will? You cannot comprehend the intricacies of our work. It is highly probable that you assume that the key is the direct cerebral connection. But that is an insignificant accomplishment within our project. Our true genius is embodied in the device you are observing at this moment. It collects external thoughts that are then translated into generic signs, stored, transformed, and sent back as commands. This process is efficient. The cognition circlet receives the command and compels the body to execute it. It expels all redundant and resistant elements from the specimen's mind. Our device is the pinnacle of scientific thought, a mechanism created by a mortal being, yet it surpasses its creator in every aspect. It is the beginning of a new era, a gateway to the future. It allows us to control our servants. We are holding them at the tip of our thoughts. Our soldiers have forgotten the meaning of fear. We have erased it from their hearts and minds. They have forgotten their lives. The reclaimed space has been used to store knowledge of combat arts and mastery of Numerian weapons. They know no pain, and their bodies remain obedient to the cognition circlets, no matter the wounds they sustain. Until their functionality is lost completely, they will execute the commands. Observe, Even physiological death failed to make many of them abandon their posts. Is this not the perfect army? Should you not be bowing before our genius and thanking us for revealing the truth? All these never-before-seen mechanisms, how did you obtain them? They were procured in the depths of Numeria. We executed a series of expeditions into Silver Mount where we discovered these and many other pieces. Killing noise, chambers of eternal life, artificial creatures, technology. Even Hundred Faces' impassive voice tenses upon uttering the last word. These items were crafted from sky metals. They are not from Golarion. They were created under the light of other stars. The Technic League in Numeria extracts such machines from the ground. They think they can understand their essence and claim them. False. The nations of Golarion are underdeveloped beyond measure compared to the creators of these items, and their failure is therefore assured. Only the device that we assembled is capable of fully grasping technology. Well, I will not submit to you. False. We will now begin the preparations for modernization.
Our victory is certain.
We definitely need to cast haste. It's one down. It's 2 down. 3 down. 4 down. Can you charge him?
Distract them from me.
I seem to recall that other enemies are summoned as well, but...
Into the fray! I'm done with you!
Stand by. Immediate extermination has been considered ineffective. The viability of our host has been compromised. The probability of death is estimated at 100%. The device must not cease its operations. We are ready to transfer the device's control codes to you. I have no idea if I should accept that or not. Oh. You accept it. You can actually make cyborgs in your army. Why are you giving your creation over to me? Self-perfection. We approach self-perfection by increasing the complexity of the structures we develop. The device is the most perfect and the most complex of the structures of our making. Its continued operation will guarantee the successful completion of our function. Hundred Face starts speaking in Hallit, language of Numeria, and his voice takes on an almost physical presence. His words are impressed upon your mind with such force you doubt you'll ever be able to forget them. Upon completing his task, Hundred Face gives an approving nod. The code that controls the device is now known to you. Use it. Its potential is limitless. It will run the necessary procedures on mortal candidates with no need for your input, and you will be able to make use of the results. Awaiting affirmative response. I guess the fact that I took him out that quickly means that the other mobs were not summoned. Wow. Okay. The device greets your approach with majestically cold indifference. Judging by the sounds it makes, it is continuing in its frightening and monumental work even after its owner's death. The device makes all of Hundred Face's other creations look like pathetic tin handicrafts. Its inner workings reveal an array of perfect geometric forms, and a large crystal covered in minuscule engravings hovers, suspended at its very center. The wave of energy it emits envelops you. The crystal contains tremendous power, and it is the writing on its surface that directs that power. It feels as if the device itself is a living creature, one that is merely sleeping, for now. I didn't save, did I? No, I did not. Well, I'm not sure if I should do this. If I do the good thing, I get something called the heart of the device. Just check what that is. It's worth a lot of money, but I don't know what it is. Right, it's just a trophy item. Well, I'm not going to use any cyborgs anyway, and it would kind of be out of character for my specific sorcerer lich here, even though he is evil, to do that, because cyborgs and undead doesn't really seem like a good combination. And in addition to that, he would rather want to reanimate the dead rather than instill things into their brains. So, destroy the device that should not exist in this world. The device refuses to die. You watch as clouds of metallic dust erupt from its depths and gather around the parts you've damaged, restoring their original condition. You hear a low scraping noise coming from the core of the mechanism, like a giant tossing and turning in its steel cradle, shaking off sleep. Now that you've attacked the device, it tries to awaken, to become more complex in order to protect itself. Without wasting another moment, you call upon all your power and deliver a single unstoppable deadly blow. It tears the massive crystal heart from the depths of the device. The mechanism thrashes around like a beast in agony, until at last, it goes still. Got the heart of the device here. Not sure where we get the final flamer fuel. Man, this was a lot simpler by just casting haste first and then just going straight for the four devices around him. But I know one door that we haven't been at, which we no? This door is open now. Be right back though. Here we go. I just let them run through the dungeon as well. A great sword. A Numerian great sword. This is an interesting sword. Can activate 1 of 5 enhancements for a number of rounds equal to half the wielder's level. +4 enhancement bonus to Dex and Strength, in addition to mobility skill check. +6 enhancement bonus to Constitution and Fortification 25. Sex, by the way, is 6 in Norwegian, in case anyone was wondering there. Shield, supported by some generator in this dungeon, grants the wearer a +4 shield bonus to armor class, which magic missiles and similar abilities can bypass. +4 natural armor bonus to armor class, and then an additional +4 to armor class against touch attacks. And finally, upgraded neural system. Gain a +4 enhancement bonus to intelligence, and your difficulty class of saving throws against spells and abilities that is used by that character is also additionally increased by 2. It's a decent enough weapon. Of course, dealing with the Borg, you'd think you would find something more. But where I find the final, or not the final, but then where I find the next piece of flaming lockpick fuel, I have no idea. Is the door openable now? Maybe there's one in here. Save.
Pretty good, aren't I?
After pressing the button a couple of times, a message flashes on the device screen. Psionic shielding tools, storeroom 1. Further attempts yield nothing more. So I probably turned off one of those psionic shields. Stormlord's Resolve. This one is nice. It's like the Salamander Ring. Just adds all of the lightning spells in addition. I just might equip that. I lose 4 armor class for that, but that's okay. The crates are full of gleaming components covered in foul-smelling dark oil. Ring of Devastating Will. Is that plus 3 protection? Oh, that's nice. Regular trident.
As it should be.
So this room also doesn't have any flaming lockpick fuel. But I think I removed the... not that barrier, but the other one, I think. I'm actually not sure. I definitely removed one of them, but which one is an open question. Not this one. I would assume it was this one, but I can hear the sound effects from it. Did I loot a helmet that gives me psionic protection? No, I think I have to craft that, but I don't have all of the components as far as I know. Okay, what I'm going to do is check the guide so that I know what I'm doing here. So, be back in a moment. Apparently I have found all the items, so let's quick save and make this thing. With the help of the tools available to you, convert the crown into protective circlet. First and foremost, you break off the sharp spikes, then you tear the drill out of the monstrous machine's fastenings. You wield the drill, methodically punching holes in the circlet and hoping that your calculations are correct. By destroying just a few specific parts of this contraption, you can render it completely harmless. At last, your work is complete. You've turned the horrible device into something resembling a helmet that can be worn atop a head. An intact head that hasn't come into contact with a saw. This headgear will keep the wearer safe from even the strongest psionic attacks. Got a helm of psionic protection. Do I need to wear that? I don't think I do. We do have 1 flask of flaming lockpick fuel, actually. How did that turn off?
Time to share your treasures.
You won't survive me.
Out of my sight! The Inheritor, guide my blade!
She actually critted for 75. Not bad.
Cover me, all right?
Very nice, Wolf. Ugh, there's a succubus in here as well.
Endure this!
I will see to your demise! The light, take you!
I can do lightning storm spells now. Call lightning. Nice and easy. Good. A cold iron masterwork. Another flaming lockpick field. I think that means we should have 2 of them. Good. Good, 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 good.
Can't hide from me.
Helmet of the Abyss Killer. Indeed, it looks formidable. I don't even know what it is. The crates numbered with Numerian symbols are arranged with compulsive precision. Holy writings about Iomede's mortal life and her acts. The pages are decayed, the text now unreadable. It is unknown how this holy book ended up in a place like this. We've also leveled up, I see. Okay, that means we only have that room and that room left, actually. Now I should be able to open the door. Warjiff, would you be a dear and pick the lock of this door?
This is my kind of work.
Thank you. The fragments of the smashed glass dome appear to have melted, as if the glass was eaten away by the gas that was previously held inside it. The glass dome is the fragile barrier that separates you from the deadly gas. Only a madman could have created a weapon so misguided and so lethal.
This is my kind of work.
And here we find the Certainty of Death, a dwarven Urgrosh. Just leave that guy alone. And that should make this the final room. This room with a collapsed floor was abandoned rather than repaired. Triple fin helmet. Not so useful for my current party, but definitely useful on the long term. And that actually means we're done here. This took much less time than it did the last time I was here. Of course, I did have the little confusion about what the heck do I do now? Okay, let's quickly level up the characters before we leave, so that I don't have to do that in the beginning of the next episode. Caledon first. Level 13 is very nice. Our feat should be spell focus, necromancy. Probably doesn't come as a huge surprise. But I'm not sure about that. Dodge might actually be quite as useful. Have I taken all? No, I'm going to go with extend spell might be useful. Selective. We already have the selective one. This is a bit difficult because I have really written down. I've written down spell focus, necromancy, or dodge, but I am not in agreement with that. I'm going to go with extend spell. Bloodline feat selection. That's going to be dodge. Level 4 spell. I think protection from energy communal. Yeah, protection from energy communal. Level 5 spell. No, I think this is fine that Confronting has that one. The prison is very tempting. Okay, we're going to go with Icy Prison. Level 6 spell. Create Undead is definitely a good one here. Sirocco, as mentioned previously, is also very good. Transformation is incredibly good. Greater Heroism is very good too. Especially since it gives immunity to fear. Yep. Alright, so that's the main character leveled up. Then we need to other characters. Starting out with Sela. I will have to level up the party members that we have in Dresden, but that's not now. Sela, level 13. We want improved initiative. So quite simple. Lan, level 13. Still a Divine Hound Hunter. Getting nice skills here. Eat. We want to have Snapshot. Notice the way that this makes you be capable of making attacks of opportunity with your ranged weapon. And you do not provoke attacks of opportunity when you're making a ranged attack as an attack of opportunity, so that one is good. Teamwork feat, we're going to go with Precise Strike. And we want Blessing of the Salamander. It gets regeneration, so as far as the other thing, echolocation, good. I'm going to take echolocation actually. Oh, we already have echolocation. Most of these are, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not bad, but Dispel Magic, no, we want to use Dispel Magic Creature. Go with, what is aspect of? No, we'll go with Blessing of the Salamander, it's fine. Uljith, 13. We are going to continue on his Vivisectionist path. Beat, improved initiative. And level, get any spell that is level 3. I guess Animal Aspect Creature? Heroism? No, it actually Creature Heroism. This does not correspond with my written notes here. According to them, I should have received medical... Wait. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 levels in Vivisectionist. This is correct. This one I took at the previous level. But I very, very specifically have done this correctly in terms of my guide here. But according to my guide, I should have been able to take a level 4 spell on this level. Oh well. He's not of any great concern. Here is this one. Both that one and that one. Let's take Animal Aspect Creature. We have enough haste between Caledon and Thunfix. Speaking of Thunfix, level 11, 12, 13, Elric Knight. So, skills. We want improved critical. 4 shard. And as for his spells on level 13, we definitely want Bull's Strength, Mass, and we want Cat's Grace, Mass. Now it's getting really interesting in terms of these buffs. And finally we have Darren. Level 13, still Oracle. His feat should be improved initiative. This is when improved initiative is starting to become very important, because your enemies are going to have very high initiatives. I just wonder. Divine power is fine. But I'm not convinced. I think I want to take protection from energy communal, because we don't have enough of that in the group. I wish I had something here that would give me protection versus fear. We do not. So we'll take protection from energy communal. Level 5, break enchantment is definitely a good one. Yep. And level 6, we have the Blessing of Luck and Resolve Mass, which gives everyone a +2 morale bonus on saving throw against fair effects, and the option to re-roll if the save failed. And I think that is the most sensible spell to take on this level. Now, Animal Companions. These are very much the same thing. Level 13, need to take toughness. More hit points. But Land's Pet has its own level up scheme. So level 13 him is actually Iron Will. Now Sela, or rather Wally, Sela's horse, at level 13 should get toughness. And then Kugu should also get toughness. I think that's about it. We should definitely wrap up here. The other leveling ups we can do when we are back in Dresden. The next episode is potentially going to be a sub-episode, because I expect there will be conversations when we get back to Dresden, considering we've built a ziggurat in the city, and I have no idea what that's going to look like, and I really look forward to seeing it. Now, if you do have any questions and or comments, then please do feel free to leave those in the comments as usual, of course. You'll find the comment section below the video. And thank you so much for joining me all. Hope to see you all in the next episode.